Sir, how long has this car been sitting here?
Since the day I lost my leg, it hasn't moved.
So you didn't stop driving it? Life stopped you? The city flagged it. They could take it soon.
They can take the car, but they can't take what it means.
Then let's make sure they don't take either.
The city had already flagged the car and told him it could be towed within 10 days. And when I stood there in that quiet garage in Tulsa, Oklahoma, looking at Corbin and his 1951 Kaiser, I realized this wasn't just about a violation. Before anything else, comment and tell me where you are watching from, because depending on where you are, the story might hit you differently. Corbin leaned on his worn wooden crutches, his eyes fixed on the car, and said softly, "They can take the car, but they can't take what it means." And in that moment, I knew this wasn't about metal, paint, or anything mechanical. I asked him how long it had been sitting there. He paused, then said, "Since the day I lost my leg, it hasn't moved." And the way he said it made it feel like that day never really ended for him. He told me he used to drive it every single day, that he rebuilt parts of it himself back when his hands were steady, and his back didn't ache just to stand. But after losing his leg, everything changed. He said he couldn't bring himself to let anyone else sit behind that wheel, because if the car moved without him, then that part of his life was truly gone. Then he reached over and showed me a paper sitting on a dusty shelf, a city code enforcement notice that labeled the car as a non-operational vehicle. Under local law, if it wasn't cleaned and brought into compliance within 10 days, it could be towed, and he could face a fine of up to $500. And he looked at me and said, "I understand the law. I just don't understand how to let this go." That sentence stayed with me, because this wasn't about avoiding a fine. This was about holding on to the last place where his life still felt whole. He told me this was the car he used to drive with his wife before she passed away. The place where everything still felt unchanged. And that's why no one had touched it all these years. Not because it didn't matter, but because it mattered too much. So I told him, we're not here to erase anything. We're just here to bring it back to light. And we started slowly, washing away the layers of dust that had built up over time. As the water ran down the panels, the faded paint began to show itself again. Not perfect, not new, but still there, still holding on. And Corbin stayed right beside me the entire time, shifting his weight on those crutches, watching every step like it meant something. Because it did. Every pass of the cloth, every movement was done with respect. Not to change the car, but to remind it of what it once was. And when we finally rolled it into the light, he stood there in silence for a long moment, then said quietly, "It looks like it remembers me." And I don't think he was talking about the car. Because sometimes what we restore isn't just what we see on the surface. Sometimes it's something much deeper that never really left. So if you believe some things deserve more time, make sure you like, share, and comment. And tell me, should the city tow it, or should he be given a chance? Because sometimes God allows certain memories to stay, not to hold us back, but to remind us who we truly are.